So hi everyone, I'm Dolav Leganto Product Manager, and I'm going to talk today about the opportunity of remote learning. I will explore some examples from customers, and I will also show you some interesting features of Leganto. But first, I want to start with the background. So we've all been through this crisis of COVID-19, facing the unknown situation with rapid changes, and of course, the move to online education. And but this move to online education didn't happen just with COVID-19. It happened a long time ago. Actually, it is happening for the last 15 years, and it has different reasons why it is happening. First of all, in the digital age, the job market is very flexible. You don't know what jobs will be required tomorrow, and most of the students are looking for lifelong learning, to learn the specific things they need as they need it. So micro degrees and the development of micro degrees is something that really advanced the online education, because when you teach online, you can take courses throughout the lives and not only in a specific time. Also, the decreased funding and declined registration rates are something that we are experiencing, or some institutions are experiencing, and it affects budget. When you have budget cuts, some of the ways to save money and offer more affordable learning is to go through online learning. Supporting non-traditional students that are more mature, that are coming to learn, or that have family obligations or careers, are students that we see a clear preferences of these students for online education versus education at campus and face-to-face. Also, the personalization of learning. So when you look for a good way for personalizing learning, one of the ways is online education, and the existence of different learning models like hybrid class or flipped classroom. So it's different types of combinations between face-to-face and online learning. All of these are drivers that drive the online education forward, but we can also see some criticism for the online education. It's not all happy. There is a question about equity and access to technology. Not all the students have the same access to technology. Some have good Wi-Fi, some don't. Some have computers, some don't. The technical orientation of students and instructors is different, and hence their learning experience. The communication between the students is a very important tool also for online education. It requires maintaining a high level of dialogue and interactions. You can achieve that in a small classroom, but in a large classroom, in an online environment, it's very hard to achieve, especially when you need to train the instructors accordingly. We are talking about greater self-responsibility for the students. It requires self-motivation and time management skills from the students to be able to work to learn online. And some courses aren't taught online, so they can't be taught online. I wouldn't want to go to a doctor that didn't study medicine, that studied medicine only online and didn't practice. So these are different things that you can't ignore when you talk about online education. And with all of these criticisms, we still did the switch. When COVID-19 came, it came rapidly. We had, this is an example from Mary Washington University. And this example describes 3 weeks from the initial meeting till the close of the gates of the university. And it's only one example out of many. Some took even days for this switch to online learning. And in an ideal world, the online learning would be at its best. I'm sure it's not something that all of you will manage to do, but in an ideal world, the access to technology would be even for all students. Instructors would engage with each student virtually. We will have tools for communication and collaboration between the students, and we will find a way to encourage that. Also, and these are things that the library can contribute to, the access of students to support services like the library or tutoring services, so the other service of the institution should be very easy and accessible to the students. The communication channels among students and between the students and the institution should be very easy, very intuitive, and work very efficient, like a customer success system or easy navigation. You probably want easy navigation of the students to the course material, so they will be able to go from their learning management system to the course and see the exact same structure of the course materials and the assignments. And of course, on the onboarding process. You want to have a very good onboarding process for all the online tools because you want to assist the people learning. So this is an ideal world, and of course we didn't live in it. But still, with all that, I do think that we can and we should think about ways to address all these, especially now in the new normal. And also, I want to give you some examples of how institutions have handled the COVID-19 crisis and show you what they have done to support all these points here. So it's examples from different libraries. And I will start with an old customer of Leganto. I don't know if you see my picture here, so I will move it. So I will start with an old customer of Leganto, St. Thomas University. And their goal was to be a strategic partner of teaching and learning. So they identified things that they can help with to teaching and learning, and they used Leganto to do so. And the first thing they highlighted, even previously before this crisis, is the ease of access to digital resources. Replacement of physical items with digital items, linking to the reading list, marking broken links and creating reports of broken links and handling them. Also, the ease of use of students, resources that are available directly from the learning management system in a very standard way. Also, it saves students the cost of course materials. They wanted to encourage students to engage with the course materials and to improve, and the last point is that they wanted to improve the accessibility of PDFs with OCR and rescanning. So this was part of their strategy all along, and they had also a strategy for the instructors. The ease of, so for instructors, they wanted an ease of communication with the library, which is enabled through Leganto. They wanted to support very easily the copyright clearance. They were focused on a quick and flexible purchasing and other fulfillment options that are built on the good communication that Leganto supports. So if an instructor needs something and he puts it on the list, then they know if they want, they can fulfill it. And of course, keeping track on student engagement using the analytics system. So instructors can keep track on their using experience using an analytics system dedicated to them. And this is a part of what the library offers them and the service that the library offers. And all of this, when the COVID-19 crisis happened, brought them a seat in the decision-making table, in the course design meetings. And they didn't have a lot to do to support all of this. So they decided that digitization should be the first priority of the library, and they should focus on digitization. They made physical course reserves requestable for digitization by the instructor. I will present it later. They purchased e-versions of physical course reserves. They provided course materials in a very appropriate format on course-to-course basis, which they already did. And also they offered training sessions for the students and for the instructors. So they help them with what they need and the onboarding experience. From St. Thomas, I want to go to Trent University. Trent University is a very different customer. Actually, quite the opposite. If St. Thomas was a very old and mature customer, Trent University is one of our newest customers. Actually, it's now new that they have joined after COVID-19 crisis. We've started talking to them before the crisis, before COVID-19, but it stopped when the crisis came, and we just didn't continue this discussion. And at the same time, we, the Leganto team, were working from home and thinking about customers that are joining Leganto. And we wanted to make sure that they will be able to get to the summer semester with Leganto on, because they wanted to support their customers. And we came up with a set of parameters, out-of-the-box parameters, based on best practices of customers that will help them in the process of understanding of decision making, because they don't need to make so many decisions. Some of the decisions they are already done for them. We offered very basic workflows, including training and the option to learn more about Leganto. And we offered it as a quick way for implementation. And we approached Trent University again. I didn't say they are a Canadian university. And when we approached Trent, we said to them that we have a quick implementation solution for them, and if they want, they can join. They signed up very quickly on Leganto. They decided to join very fast, and in less than a month, they were able to go live with Leganto and work with their instructors to start creating lists and support teaching online, which was amazing. So this is the story of Trent, and you can learn from it a lot. It's very different than, the two stories are very different, but they connect. One of them is talking about the way to incorporate Leganto in the institution strategy. And the other one is showing how fast you can work with Leganto to support teaching and learning and courses. So these are two examples. And what I want to do now is to go to back to the instructors, because they are having a bit of a drama themselves. They just went to teach online. And we have, and the first example I'm showing you is from Vandalia University. It's a flyer for online course for reading illustration via Zoom that they just started to train when they switched to online learning, so they can really offer their support for instructors, especially instructors that have fear of technology and don't usually use technology in their day-to-day life. Now they have to. So this is the same for UC Davis, University of California, Also, they promoted Leganto in multiple ways. They said to the instructors that they can use their Canvas, the normal, regular learning management system, to connect to reading lists and online courses, and they will then make available electronic resources to their students. And it defined Leganto as a resource for remote teaching, which is the value for the instructors. And I want to finish this part of talking about the customers with this sentence of Rosemary Aronson from Mary Washington University. The building is closed, the library is open. So the building is closed, but all the services and all the support that the library can offer is still open, and they can still get the support even online. Now, after talking about this, I want to show you a few examples, and we've got a lot of reactions from our customers. I want to show only a few examples from different institutions. So the first one that we've got is, it's been very handy having a platform already in place as more digital resources continue to be added to courses. We've got it from Dan Oyland from Concordia University. Also, another comment I like a lot is the comment that we need Leganto now more than ever. And the third comment I'm going to share, and we have many more, is things with Leganto are progressing nicely. And with the sudden switch we had to do, I'm glad we have. So these are a few examples of what our customers said about Leganto. And now I want to show you how Leganto supports all of this, how Leganto supports online teaching and learning, and how Leganto can give you tools to work with online teaching. So this is the interface for those of you who don't know Leganto. This is the interface for instructors and students of Leganto. This is the interface of instructors. Students have a very similar one. And I'm going to present to you today, first of all, the basic digitalization flow, and then some more advanced features of Leganto that we are currently developing or we will develop for the future. So, and this is the basic workflow of digitization. And I'm an instructor, and I just want to read this book over here that is marked as red. So I click this book, and I go to the digitization request. I go to a page about the book. With the digitization request, I paste as an instructor. I click the digitization page, the digitization request, and I can now enter the course date, the page range. If I already have dates of the course, I've already defined the course dates, it will be automatically updated here. And after I write everything, I will hit submit, and it will go to the library. I will get a notification that I sent it to the library, and the library will be able to address this request. So after hitting submit, this is how the ALMA interface looks like for the librarians. And the librarians can now look at the request. They can see that the copyright status was automatically approved, and they can see why. Because it was auto-approved because it's less than 10% of the book, what I've requested to digitize. They can also see the digitization request that I just pasted. So it's very easy for a librarian to now go scan the pages that I need and just update this item. When this item is updated in ALMA, it is also updated in Leganto. So now you can see it's from the student's perspective, and you can see that there is a download link for the students to be able to download this PDF, and also they can still see that the book is available at the library. So they have both options available. And this is what's great about Leganto, the option to collaborate and the option to communicate very easily and efficiently when everyone just doing their job. And still the communication happens and the instructor knows what happens with his request, and the students get the book or the scan. So it's very nice also. And I want to show you some. So these are a few features that we have added during the COVID-19 crisis. First of all, we have enabled the option to reuse existing files. So if you have an existing scan connected to a specific item in the reading list, you can very easily now, with the click of a button, add the same scan to another reading list after you requested this scan also. So it's very easy, and you can check the copyright and see if you can share it again. Very intuitive feature and also very relevant for now. So we were very agile in changing our work plan to support the things that we thought institutions really need at the moment. Another job, it's not a new job, but it really supports teaching and learning, is locating electronic formats for physical resources. So if I have physical resources on the list and I have electronic formats in my subscriptions, I can just find them and link the items to the electronic resource. Another feature of moving online, leveraging HathiTrust to move online. HathiTrust is a collection of book scans. And when you want to scan a book, and the HathiTrust opened their collection to it just opened the collection for COVID-19 crisis. And when we tried, and when someone wanted to, just a minute, so we added to Leganto the option to have a link inside Leganto to HathiTrust. So if you want, you can enable this feature very easily. And when enabling this feature, you have a link directly to HathiTrust collection for every item that has the right copyright clearance. It is added automatically, and also if you are subscribed to HathiTrust collection, then you can add also the ID of the HathiTrust, and you can have it not only for this crisis but for a long time. And I want to finish. This is my last feature and the biggest one that I'm going to present. And then I will have time for some questions, and if you want to ask me anything, I will be happy to answer. So this is a social reading feature. It allows students and instructors to annotate PDF files. So instructors can annotate PDF files and also the students, and they can also see all the comments. So they can look at the comments or look at the file in either way, whatever is easier for them, and instructors will be able to start a discussion on the PDF with their students and allow their students to add comments. They will also be able to give assignments to the students, grade them based on these assignments. Sometimes we might even add an automatic grading option for very easy grading. And something very basic if you didn't do the task. And anyway, the grading will be based on the student annotations. Both instructors and students will be able to write private comments for their own use. So if they write, so they can write a personal comment, they can answer a question from the instructor, and they can also comment on this document and talk about this document together with each other and discuss it. So it really creates a much better experience for teaching and learning remotely. More options to allow collaboration, to more options of classes, of different classes that you can do and different assignments that instructors can have in their course. And it's, I think, a very great development that is upcoming in Leganto. So I want to say thank you all for listening to me. I want to finish with this sentence of Rosemary Aronson. I already showed it in my presentation. The building is closed, the library is open. And I want just to say to you all that I hope that the building will be closed, will be open, and that the library will be open, both online and offline, in a hybrid environment. And that's it. Thank you. I'm available for questions. So this is a good time to ask me questions, and I can answer and talk about what I presented a bit more.
Thank you, Dolav. Thank you very much for your presentation. Indeed, a very, very strong course. I do like it as well. I have already one question, but before I start, I would like to remind the audience to use the chat or Q&A box on the right-hand side of your screen. Please feel free to send any comments or questions you might have to Dolav. Dolav, if you're ready, I am going to read out the first question that I received. Could you please comment how quick do students and lecturers adapt to new reading solutions? Do you have any experience about this, Dolav?
So the question was, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to...
How quick do students and lecturers adapt to a new reading solution? How quickly, in the moment you have a new reading solution at the university, how quickly the stakeholders are going to use it?
So it's very quickly. Depending on the university and how you push it also, it's not the same for every institution. Usually, first of all, we've seen a massive use of Leganto in the COVID-19 crisis when they're working from home. So this was a very, it was a very big incentive for using Leganto very fast. Otherwise, we see that institutions that promote Leganto as a teaching and learning tool and explain its value to the instructors and to the instructors mostly, because they create a reading list. It helps us a lot, and it's very quickly. It depends on the institution and the effort.
If they are doing internal marketing for the solution, for example.
Yeah, it requires internal marketing, but also it's very simple solution to use. So once instructors are trying to use it, they usually find it very easy to use, very intuitive, very fast to learn.
Okay, great. I can't see more questions right now. Let's give the audience 1 or 2 minutes, maybe for writing. As I said at the beginning, we are recording this session, so I'm going to share the recording with you afterwards, so that you can share this with your colleagues. Please also feel free to follow us on Twitter using the hashtag FutureOfLibraries2020. And there are no more questions coming, so after you already answered all the upcoming questions during your presentation. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for joining us today. Looking forward to welcoming you again next week. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.